Hey everyone, Hurricane Liz here, and I'm going to answer a question that we've been getting quite a bit of times, and that is, what happens after I find a good product with one of the ways that you showed me? How do I get it? How the heck do I figure out who to contact, or what do I ask people? So we're going to start today with answering that question at the most basic level, and then we'll move into some advanced topics about that. Typically, there's so many different business models that you can swing this Amazon game. It's sickening. And right here, I've got them showing here to show you. As I talked about my particular story, I started in my house. I looked for used items that I could sell on Amazon. I sold books. That is not as easy a model to start with nowadays, but there are still some fantastic ways that you can start with very little money. And I'm about to talk more about those here in a second. Garage sales, thrift shops, and swap meets, same thing. Not as easy, but you can still definitely find products by the dozens on both starting with your house and garage sales. The third method that you can use, and this is a huge one. In fact, in the next coming weeks, I'm going to have a good friend of mine talk to you guys about how to start wholesaling other people's products. In fact, if you want to learn more about that, I highly recommend you sign up at the link below, because we're going to have an entire webinar about it and how he does it. And literally, he makes over $600,000 in a single month doing that. So I'm going to show you how to get into some of those techniques. It's definitely a tremendous model that works out, and you can start with very little money. But now let's say you've got some money and you've decided upon a product that comes out. It hits all the switches on all the different ways that we've shown, and you now want to know how you can get that product. In fact, even if you don't have a product, this particular way here, the trade show way, is a tremendous way to actually find products. Now, this year alone, I want to say I haven't attended as many trade shows in the past, but I've still gone out to a supplement one. I even forget the name of it, but I went out to a supplement one. In the past, I've gone to ASD, I've gone to the Canton Fair, I've gone to the Asia World Expo, HKTD C Show, all of those trade shows. There's one in Chicago every year for kitchen. You can literally look up to see where there's trade shows in your area and go to them. There's even some here in Miami and in Fort Lauderdale. So these shows are basically places where a bunch of vendors set up and they want your business. So they will help you get a product out there. You can help get them to put it on Amazon, whether you buy it wholesale and or they private label it for you. So trade shows are a tremendous way to find products. And it's definitely one that I recommend for everybody out there just looking to get into this private labeling business. It teaches you a lot about the industry. So I highly recommend going out to one of those. The next way is retail arbitrage, which I won't cover. That's how I started and that's how I learned. But it's definitely not what I'm covering in how to teach you guys. The next thing is what I call faux private labeling, which is teaching you how to bundle products and a couple different tactics. And I know that one of our team members, Justin, has actually gone into depth on how to do that. He's starting that video series for you guys on how you can get started with this tremendous opportunity. He's done a great job at selling bundles. He's really good at it, and he's going to teach you guys how to do that. It's the way that I got started as well. Then we've got two of my favorite, and I'm just going to briefly touch upon them because they're very involved. So I'm just going to mention them in another video. I'll cover each of these individually. But the two ways that I highly recommend, other than faux private labeling, I definitely recommend everybody start like that or with wholesaling. Trade shows is always a good opportunity too. So if I was to tell you guys which ways I would actually start, it would be one of the following. Trade shows for sure, just for the sake of getting experience. Wholesaling is definitely another good avenue. Faux private labeling, probably my favorite way for a beginner to start. And then go into the more advanced methods, which are private labeling and partnering. And again, I'll break those down individually in a future video, but that is kind of the way that I would suggest you guys start. And we will talk about how to get started if you have that product with private labeling. So we'll talk about not only talking to Chinese suppliers on Alibaba, or finding a Chinese sourcing agent. I'll tell you about the steps you got to go through to find that. And I will also talk about the biggest opportunity that there is right now, which I see right now, that is partnering. It's huge, it's gigantic, and if you're not already in that particular actual niche, then you're missing out on a heck of a lot of money. So hopefully this taught you guys something. In the future, I'll break into private label and partnering. So Again, sign up for our list so you can learn more about that wholesaling course I was talking about, and or to learn more about private labeling and partnering. And I will see you guys in a future video.